Today on the channel, we step into the Savage Crucible world once again with the latest and greatest, Veteris Rapax.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Savage Crucible unboxing and review. And today we got the latest and greatest, part of their current in-stock sale through January 17th. We got Veteris Rapax, and of course, he will be available at other retailers starting in February. But if you want this one right now, head over to SavageCrucible.com. Tell them Kyle sent you, or something like that. But shout out to Rob and the rest of the crew over there at Savage Crucible for sending this review sample my way. I've been an early follower of the Savage Crucible line. Really surprised me a whole lot. Now, these figures feel like they play in the land of mythic legions, cosmic legions. They obviously scale very well with those if you've seen my prior reviews on the channel. But a very good-looking figures that can mix and blend into your Hasbro Marvel Legends, other stuff. So I always love a good, versatile figure, but also a toy line that stands very cool on its own, and that's what these do here. Very, very awesome figures. Like I said, check out the other reviews on the channel. But we're going to dive into this one here, and I saw this one for the first time ever at the Kane County Toy Show, the Chicago Toy Show, the fall edition in the fall of 2024. I got to see this there at their table as the Savage Crucible guys were there. Had a good conversation with them, but also got to check this one out firsthand, and I thought this thing was a show stealer, I would say. I really like the looks of this one here. Now, it isn't technically a He-Man tribute, of course, to one Battle Cat, but boy, it sure does kind of look that way to me. But a very cool striking figure, and we're going to dive into it. And of course, we're going to do this video like we do all the other videos on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. Like I said, available on Savage Crucible right now as I'm filming this. But a very cool packaging design. I love the green and red attack here. It's like Christmas never ended is what it looks like. Savage Crucible right there on the side. Looks like number 7 down here. Of course, got his name. Always got to be complicated from these companies with the name. Why can't it be just Carl? I wish his name was just Carl. It'd be easy to remember, that's for sure. Savage Crucible on the side over here. Got his name up top once again. On the bottom, some gibber, some jabber, some UPCs. Then on the back, we got a little bit of a story. Should I read the story? Should I read the story? Now, I'll tell you the secret of the world, child. This one, anyway. It's an engine. No one knows who built it, but it moves things. It moves people from where and when they belong to here. Even the oldest people, the longest stretching generations, they were brought here once. To melt, to be forged, or else perish. It's a savage world of a million stories. We call it the Crucible. Oh, world building, and then you got a huge bio for this guy right here, which is always cool to dive deeper in the characters because, let's be honest, this is brand new mythology to most of us here. You got He-Man, you got Lion-O, you got Incredible Hulk. You don't need a lot of this stuff because you, for the most part, know the stories. You watch the cartoons, read the comics. This is a whole new story being told, so you do have this right here to help tell it to you. Then, of course, you got the nice window box there. Very NECA-like. That's what I would compare this box to. Feels like a NECA box. Very cool with the window box there as well. But we're going to pull this out, possibly. Of course, do get the little blind bag. We'll dive into that here in a second. And what can we get? What can we get out of the package in the background there? Got a little bit of a map. A little bit of a map action there. Of course, my dad would be here to tell us all about Lemuria. If he was here, he knows the whole story. My dad, just the smartest guy at this table, if he's here, that's for sure. But we do get the little behind the map here. We've seen this before. It's a little surprise inside. Can I get it open? Got the handy dandy scissors here. That will help, of course. And let's see what's going on as far as the card, and give it the old see you later, goodbye. You got the big card right here. It's a Lemurian Savage big card right here. So if you want to play the game, I guess, is what this is. But it's very confusing for me. Very confusing for me. But for some, they love things like this. But for me, I'm a figure guy, not a gamer guy. How about that? How about that? But here we go. Plastic Prison. Oh, we got the secret weapon. We'll dive into that in a second as well. But there he is, all kinds of stuff going on. I'm going to try to pop everything out of the package here. Like what I see here, and I like that there's no tape and twist ties holding everything back, that's for sure. You get the extra head, get some weapons, get a little rope, all kinds of stuff going on. And look at this, Todd McFarlane from the couch, it can be done, no twist ties. No twist ties, it can be done. Uh-oh, I lied. I guess it needs one twist tie, Todd. I'll take that back right now. We got one around the waist, so I guess we do need a new twist tie, but there it goes. See you later, goodbye. Now, I got to figure out what am I doing. Do I save these twist ties? I saved all my twist ties. If you're watching this as it does drop, especially on Patreon, head over, of course, to my Instagram. You can be part of a big giveaway around those clip ties, but I don't know. Do I save the clip ties this year? I feel like I shouldn't save them. I don't know. Or do we do this contest every single year? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, I guess. But looking good right here. But now I want to do this secret weapon. I'm excited to see what could possibly be in here. Now, I'm wondering if this secret weapon is different for everybody. So if you guys do get this figure, let me know in the comments down below what you got. Oh my gosh, I'm here for this. Nice little baggie there. Look at this. What kind of a power sword is this? Very ornate on the handle, and then a very cool translucent sword here with a nice purplish color. Really like this sword. This thing is wild. So very cool. This is the surprise weapon. Now I'm assuming, but you know what happens when you assume, Todd McFarlane? You assume. I believe everybody's getting this one, but you guys let me know if that is different in the comments down below. And I guess we'll stick to the weapons here. How many swords do you want? Got a little buccaneer sword, like a swashbuckling pirate is what we got here. A gold color here with a dirty wash against it. You got the guard, the knuckle duster in the front, the handle in black. Very cool, something like a pirate would have on a ship or something. So we got that going on. Then we get a straight sword right here. This looks like something a character like this would hold. And I love that it's got the blood of the non-believers, because apparently whoever he killed did this guy wrong. So he's got the blood of the non-believers on here. Beautiful ornate handle, but the blood adds a little extra to it, that's for sure. And then we got another more ornate sword right here as well. Blood on it once again, nice gold here. Very, very cool, very ornate, very magical sword, I am sure. Then getting to more of a He-Man style. Of course, the old He-Man axe kind of gives me that feel a little bit, but you get the old battle axe here. Caked in blood once again. This must be his main weapon. Got the spear on the front end there as well. Very, very cool. This guy's loaded for bear. He's got a lot of weapons here to use. And he even has a whip if he needs it. Or maybe it's a lasso of truth like a young Wonder Woman. But we do get a whip right here on the side looking very nice. And I like that it is stored in here. You can use your imagination is what you can do. Looking good there. Then finally we get some extra hands here. We get 2 gripping hands, which you're going to need to use for this guy. You got to have him at least 2 swording it. Handling 2 swords at one time. Todd, I've heard you've been really good at handling 2 swords at one time, I've been told. Mark Summers is the one that told me that. But you do got the Lemurian hands here. We've seen these before, but always work really good, especially for a reptilian type creature. Just kind of how I imagine their hands would be. So I like these splayed out hands here, but I'm going to have to use the gripping hands out of the package, I think. But now we're going to dive into the head sculpt on this bad boy here. Very wild. The only gripe I've seen on this one, and I see it out of the package, and I saw it in the package, the eyes look a little crazy when you look at it. Now, he's got a very battle cat-like helmet going on here, especially with the red color, and then you got the green skin tone, and you got kind of the stripes in orange. Really gives it that battle cat feel. I don't think this is what they were actually going for. It's just a weird kind of way that it manifested itself is what I was told there at Kane County. But it does look very cool, and it does look like a Battle Cat tribute, which I don't think is a bad thing because we all love Battle Cat. We all love Cringer. Not a bad thing if the Savage Crucible team can convince some He-Man fans to cross over enemy lines maybe and pick up some of these things to mix in. So might not be a bad deal, especially also Mythic Legion fans. There's also those He-Man tribute figures from Mythic Legion. This would fit at home with this one here. And of course, we'll do comparisons later on in this very video. But I'm not a big fan of the eyes on this one. I guess it is protecting through the mask, but it almost looks almost goofy and comical there a little bit with those buttons on there. It almost looks like a thimble or something on his eyes. So it almost looks like he's blind or something, or he's got goggles on there. But it's weird is it doesn't look bad if I look it to the side, but when I look at it straight on, I do notice that, and it takes me out of the magic a little bit. But once again, your mileage may vary on that, of course. But I absolutely love these head sculpts on these guys. I love that the mouth's open. You can see all the teeth, of course, in a reptilian creature, a snake creature, whatever it could be. By having a movable jaw like this is such a game changer. Even takes away from having to have multiple heads because there's so many different looks you can get with the movable jaw. But I do love the jaw on this one here. I love the helmet as well. I will probably end up using this one for him, of course. Now we do get the straight up head over here. This is something we've seen before. You got to get the most out of your molds, but of course, if you're building an army, you want these guys to all be very similar, you got to have a head like this. So you can go either way, and this is one of those ones, a lot like the Cosmic Legions, Mythic Legions, and a lot of other toy lines. You could buy multiples of these, dress them up, make them different, make an army out of these if you want to. Different heads actually help that, as we do know. But looking good in the second head. Love the movable jaws on both these guys here. Now, he does got the big apparatus over the top of his shoulders. Got the spikes all over the place. Looking very, very cool here. You got the snakes on the shoulder guards here. He's truly living that reptilian life, of course. Beautiful on that. Love the holsters here on the side. As like I said, he's got so many weapons here. I like that we can store some stuff over here because you're not going to be able to have all these ones in play, of course, as we know. Big red forearm guards. Once again, got the spikes going on there. Gripping hands we did talk about. He does got the overlay here around his waist. He's ready to protect himself. Got to keep those thighs and that crotch protected. We know how that goes, of course. Looking good in his black underwear. And then, of course, the reptilian skin throughout the whole body on this one, just making it truly feel like a big reptile. Absolutely love that. Getting down to the legs here, of course, Terry Steinbach, standard issue. We've seen him before, Terry Steinbach style here. Of course, looking very, very nice. Got the protection there. And then you got spikes on there for a little extra danger. And then you got the big feet on this guy. And I love that they give these reptilians, these Lemurians, bigger feet here because that's how they should be. It shouldn't be a quick little human-like foot. You want it to feel more monstrous, and that's what we do have right here. Now, we don't have articulation in the foot. I believe we got articulation in the past. We have, and I'll take a look at those here in a little bit, but no articulation of the feet on this one here. However, speaking of articulation, you do got a tail here. You do got a tail out the back, and it is an articulated tail. So a little extra pizzazz right there. You know I love that. Now, articulation-wise, head removable, back forth, side to side, up and down. Plenty of movement out of that head. Talked about the jaw being articulated. Arms all the way around for us. Very tight in the arms, like it said. Heated up, of course. You do get a bicep cut. Yes, you do. I love the elbows on this guy here. Looking very, very nice, and I love how they're pinless. Of course, moving back and forth. Looking very good, but very tight once again. You do get single jointed elbows side to side as well. Hands removable back, forth, side to side. Hula hoop up top, yes we do. And then of course the dumbbell at the bottom, so you can get some really crazy positioning out of this reptilian. Of course these reptiles very flexible, as we do know. Talked about the tail, got the articulation in the tail. Leg goes up. Is there a thigh cut? Yes, we got a little movement out of that thigh. What do we got for the knee? Very, very tight. Once again, double jointed knees on this one. I'm here for that. Very tight in the knee department. Yes, very tight. So going to have to heat those up with a hairdryer. Don't want to risk it. Nothing worse than snapping it. Of course, if you're like me, it's well below freezing. You got to be careful with your toys, even more so in the cold weather environment where the heat, they loosen up a little bit. But cold weather in a lot of the country right now, at least from where I sit, of course, this table right here. Ankles back and forth and then up and down there. He's got a hole in his foot. So is he going to fit on a ringside collectible stand using discount code Kyle to save 10%? Oh, yes, he is. He is going to fit on that stand. So very, very cool. Like I said, not technically a Battle Cat tribute with this one, but boy, it sure feels that way. Sure looks that way. And I am here for that because He-Man really started my action figure adventure many years ago. So whenever we get tributes, I'm here for that. But speaking of tributes, how about we go to Mythic Legions? We go to the old Battle Cat tribute over there. Similar but different, I guess. Similar color scheme, just different tones. But I did like this Mythic Legion one. I do like this Crucible one right here. Well, then of course we go to one of the Lemurians. I've got quite a few. Of course, like I said, we unboxed a lot on the channel. But you can mix these guys together, of course. So you can see one of his brothers in arms, how they compare, at least size-wise there. Pretty much in the same world as the Legions and everything else as far as sizing. And I did grab a He-Man. The first He-Man I saw when I walked into my room. You got a little Masterverse He-Man, the old school tribute He-Man here. Maybe you want to mix these guys. You want to have these guys as a bad army or a bad team that's going to take on He-Man and the guys. you could do that as well. So there's a lot of choose your own adventure options with this one. It is technically not a tribute, but boy, it feels like a tribute to me. I like that idea for this one, and I really do enjoy these figures, as you've seen in all the other reviews we've done. I love how smooth they articulate, how much they move around. They're just very fun to play with in hand, and we've seen that repeatedly here from Savage Crucible. We got a lot more Savage Crucible on the way. Like I said, head over to their website. A lot of stuff going on. This guy included on an in-stock sale right now if this is your thing. Check it out, of course, and we'll see where they go in the future, like all these other toy lines. There's a lot of product to come. Can't wait to see some of that. I can't wait to see some of these human characters from Savage Crucible in hand in the future this year as well. So a lot of good stuff coming up for Savage Crucible line, but what are your guys' thoughts? A pickup, a pass, long game, no game, not so sure game, not sure what I'm doing with my life game? Who knows what your game could be, but let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day, and then some. We got even more content for you. Yes, it's true, over there on Patreon. Patreon, the best way to support this YouTube channel and all the content it does bring. Appreciate the support over there. ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for a little Savage Crucible, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.